boys in Grit Academy. Dad's got to get right to it because he had to battle traffic and he is now here. It's Friday, and guess what? School will be done here in a few hours, and I will be coming home, and we'll be heading into the weekend, but I got to get into class quickly. So let's get to it. Someone's walking across right here. Like, what's that guy doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm giving announcements. It's December 8th. It's Friday, and we are only 17 days away from Christmas. Yes. Let's get to the weather. All right, guys, it's going to be cold today. The high is 40 degrees, cloudy day. The sun is not going to save you. And, oh, by the way, the snowflake that we saw on Friday, check the weather, Mom, because it looks like it moved over to tomorrow, which is exciting because we're going to a Christmas parade tomorrow in Leesburg. We are going to have to bundle up, but that would be a lot of fun if we had some snowflakes that trickling down while we ate down there and played foosball upstairs, right, Catcher? No. All right. Today's birthday's Josh Donaldson. That guy can rake. The third baseman for the Blue Jays turns 31 years old today. Still young, in my opinion. He's got a lot of pop left in that bat. And also Phillip Rivers. Who's Phillip Rivers, you ask? You know. Come on, who is he? The Chargers quarterback. That's right. He's got 1 million children. It's something like 8 or 9. But he's 35 years old today. Happy birthday, Phillip Rivers. All right. On this day in history, a couple things happened. What was one? I know the one thing. Well, I'll just tell you the one thing that I think is interesting. Elon Musk. He is an American inventor. He owns the company Tesla, which has cars, doing some, and he has another company called SpaceX. And his goal is to try to get to Mars. And he actually wants to die on Mars, which means he has to live on Mars for a while and then he'll die. But no one's ever been to Mars. It's crazy. But he has a privately owned company. Before 2010, the only people that went to space was the government, NASA. But Elon Musk has so much money, and he's such a brilliant person. He had funded and launched a rocket into the sky, into space, and recovered it. First publicly owned company ever to do such a thing. Privately owned, I should say. So, that's pretty exciting. Some awesome things be happening in space here soon. All right. Guess what else today is? Fun Fact Friday! Woo woo! Here's a couple of fun facts for you. Take a dice. Let me ask you something. If you took one number on one side of the dice and then flipped it over opposite side on the other side of the dice, what would it add up to? Why don't you grab a dice at some point today and see what it adds up to? Take one side of the dice and the other side. I have a feeling it's the same number. See if you can figure out what it is. All right. Also, did you know the tongue on a blue whale is as long as an elephant? Hold on. The tongue on a blue whale is as long as an elephant. Interesting. And finally, did you know the most common person annihilated during a bank robbery, and by annihilated I mean shot and killed, is a bank robber? So the most dangerous person, or I should say the safest person to be, is a bank teller. But if I'm not mistaken, you young kids have never even been in a bank, and you may never go into a bank. Interesting. I have many more facts, but Dad can't remember them all. So he's going to head into class. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. I'm going to head into class. Have an outstanding day. Learn a ton. I love you guys very much. That is all. Oh, how could I forget? Reading Advent this morning. So Mom and Dad just got our Advent books yesterday. And so we go through the first day of Advent. And if you remember, what was the first day of Advent for the Jesse Tree guys? That's right, the fall. Sin. And so I was reading through the Bible, and not only the fall, which we had read about, but the shame and the guilt that Adam and Eve had felt because he had said they were hiding. Adam and Eve were hiding, and God's like, "Why are you hiding?" He's like, "We're naked," and God's like, "How did you know you're naked? Who told you that?" And then they go into realizing, oh wow, the serpent had deceived Eve, and they had made bad choices. God had made this perfect world. This perfect world. He had given Adam and Eve literally everything they could ever imagine, and he gave them the recipe. He said, this is how life is best lived. And all they had to do was not believe a snake. A snake. I mean, when you think about it, it's so ludicrous. But Eve and Adam, they had decided, man, maybe we know better than God. We know better than God. And so that led to the destruction and all the things. And I was thinking the other day, someone was talking about how, animals, like you think about a lion, he comes and he has to devour a gazelle. And this is the life that we live. Even animals have to struggle to get through life. Now, a lion killing a gazelle, it's not a bad lion or whatever. It's just survival. But there's all these things that happen because Adam and Eve couldn't trust God. But what an unbelievable thing, because we already know the story, that God looked at the destruction that we chose and said, no, I got you. I got you. And then he made so many promises, and he said, this is what's going to happen. And he never broke one single one. And guess what? The biggest promise was fulfilled when Christ came. And even though we still deal with sin in the world, it is not something we have to fear. It's not something we have to struggle with. We can bring it to him because he wants to take it. He wants to take it from you. So if you're struggling with something, pray to God. Pray with mom and dad. And know that God's listening to you, and know that you are forgiven. All right, guys? It's a super important time to remember that, because, golly, this is exciting thinking about Christ came. It's his birthday coming up. Wow, that's a big promise that was fulfilled. So, something to think about every day, but especially today. Love you guys.